John Piper with the weekend video, and it's Saturday the 6th of April. I thought I'd just reiterate what Big Call is all about, my Big Call service. I'm using gold as an example of this. Back in 2009, gold saw this triangle, and this is a monthly chart, so it doesn't look as big as it would do obviously on a shorter term chart. We basically traded the breakout around the 1,000 level. I issued a big call to buy gold. Now, the idea is to catch good trends. And when I catch a good trend, I don't just spread bet it. In the case of gold, I bought gold coins, gold stocks, and basically anything that ETFs. I look to invest in the trend in as many ways as I can. Same with cryptos. I mean, last year we had a big call on the crypto market, which is still going, in fact, and of course the market is now rallying again. In 2006, I wrote Financial Cataclysm Now, sort of making, in effect, a big call on the equity markets, with the peak came in 2007, which we caught extremely well on Big Call. And my book, Binary Trading, outlined some of the campaigns at that time. Similarly, in March 2009, I think I issued a general buy signal just shortly after the March lows. And that's what Big Call's all about. It's about catching the big moves. Now, you can spread bet it, you can buy stuff. How you trade it is up to you. Personally, I use a variety of techniques, of which spread betting is one part, but the main part really is an investment strategy based around these big calls. So, as we started with gold, clearly had a huge uptrend here. I'll just expand this chart now. We then had this correction, A, B, C in simple form, followed by another move up, and we've been sort of triangulating ever since, really. It's pretty much a triangle. And I believe we've finally seen a low, an important low, and we just need a confirmation and a big call will be coming out. So let's go into the short-term action here. All right, so here's the current rally on gold. And we've seen the 5 waves up, which I've already outlined. You see there's a bit of a triangle here, and gold does like triangles. We've now got this A, this B, and now we've got a C wave, which could be, in fact, be complete, or it may want to extend. That actually is the big question mark right now. Let's look at the shorter term. All right, here is the B wave peak, and we've got a clear 1, 2, a 5-part 3 wave, and a 4 and a 5, and it's broken below 1300, which is one key support level, down to 1280 level, which is also important. Hasn't taken out the low of A though, which is one slight concern. Doesn't have to, it's not obligatory. It's got pretty close. I mean, the low of A came in about 1 to 80, and the low here is 1 to 81 or thereabouts. So this could be the low. Let's go even shorter term. Okay, so looking at this 5-minute chart, the low came in at 1 to 80, 1 approximately. That looks fairly impulsive. It's not a classic 5, but it's not too bad. A, B, and a C. Now, a solid spike there is quite interesting. Trading spikes are one of the key trading indicators I use. If you see a spike like this with a rapid, I think the news did come out at that time, but with a fairly rapid response to the lower prices, that's a good place for your stop play, for a stop level. There's been enthusiastic buying came in, so that may happen again. So if you've got a stop below there, it's more secure than sort of being, say, up here somewhere, because the enthusiastic buying might repeat. But it's all a bit diddly right now. I mean, I think there's a case the low's in, but I haven't had enough really to actually issue a big call right now. But I would encourage, I would not deter people from actually buying this market based on their own trading parameters. I mean, that's what it's all about, really. I can't trade for you. We all have different regards to risk and reward. You need to develop your own trading approach. Every successful trader does that, and I've worked with many clients over the years now. Every single one has their own approach that they've developed. So I try and help guide people towards that happy position where they develop their own trading system that's working profitably for them. That's all I can do, really. I think it's always a mistake trying tell people how to trade. They've got to develop their own strategies. So I think this is a valid signal, but it's not enough to issue a big call. I mean, okay, I've got some new gold stocks already, but when I issue a big call, it suggests that if you want to do that kind of stuff, then you can do it anytime you like. Of course, you haven't got to wait for me to issue a big call. But I'm just saying that my opinion is the market is going up in an uptrend from here. I mean, silver has a very similar pattern. So we've got a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 down to this level here. So again, go to a shorter term chart. So again, we have a spike here, not as dramatic a spike, and of course the market is now eking that tail, so that's a bit vulnerable, I think. But a fairly solid buying response. Again, it could go a little bit lower. There's not enough here to be sure that the low is actually in. But silver's the same kind of parameters. I've got silver stocks as well. And when I do issue a big call on gold, it'll probably include silver as well. Well, we look at Bitcoin. I called the low here, but with some uncertainty. 1, ABC 2, 1, 2, now 1, 2, and 3. Now the third of a third is really the fastest part of the move. That may not be the case here because I think people are going to see what's happening and going to jump on board here. So we could see an accelerated uptrend at this point, in fact. But in Elliott terms, we need a fourth wave and a fifth wave, and another fourth wave, and then another fifth wave. But the writing's on the wall here that this market is going up from this point. So if you're not into cryptos, I would strongly suggest you get into cryptos because they can be explosive. One of the key things for me is risk reward. I like to see a very high risk reward ratio. Now some of these cryptos you've got 10 to 1, even 100 to 1 is not impossible. So a small sum of investment that you can afford to lose can generate a very high return, and few other markets can do that. I mean, there are a few other opportunities that happen from time to time. In commodities, for example, you can get situations where bear markets go far too low, and stock markets to an extent, but you just don't get the same kind of multipliers. You're never going to see, say, FTSE or the Dow offer you 100 to 1 because the market's just too established. They're too big. It just doesn't happen. But the crypto world is sort of brand new virtually, and there are some huge opportunities. And now is the time. So I do run a service, Yahura, specifying crypto, or at least suggesting crypto investments. And the funds are well up, in fact. I mean, we started in October, which was quite good timing. And we're now seeing, well, we have one coin, which is, I think, 7x. And most of the coins are either break even or up. So the portfolio is doing very well. In comparison, from an investment perspective, the equity markets just don't really offer very attractive returns, as I see it. I mean, I issued a sort of sell signal last year, said that I'm selling all my non-gold rated equities because I thought that the downside potential was pretty large and the upside potential was very limited. Even if the DAX or Wall Street does go higher, I don't believe it will go much higher. We're talking about maybe 10% maximum. But the downside potential is probably in excess of 60%, I think, over time. I'm not talking about tomorrow. But even so, we do have an ABC here on this decline on the DAX, and this move here is indeterminate at the moment. It's not quite. It's difficult to know what's going on. It's just reached 50% level, which is an important retracement level. So that's one point. I mean, 12,000 is an important level. I think 11,980 the C wave equals the A wave, as I recall. Let's have a look at the shorter term. Yeah, so this is the A wave here. We had a 5-part A wave, a B wave. Now I thought we'd peaked here, but we're now going higher. But 12,000 is an important level. See how that copes. So the equities, to me, are less interesting because I don't see the same risk reward return. I think gold and cryptos is the place to be right now for investment sums. Again, not going crazy about it. You want to follow sensible investment policies. You want to take profits from time to time, and you want to make sure you're not overcommitted. Clearly, cash flow is important. You've got to have money coming in, to live, etc., and you want to meet your investment goals, which you ought to have. You ought to have a particular goal in mind, how much you need the returns you need over a number of years to build a sensible sum of money for retirement or whatever it is that you're wanting to build money for. Children's education obviously is another important aspect. And that's all part of what I guess Big Call's all about. Is trying to pinpoint the key markets which would give you the returns that you want and need for your children's future, really. And we have had some good success over the years. I'm expecting that this year could be a classic year for precious metals and cryptos. Been quite a long report now, so I think I'll call it a day at this point. I hope you found that interesting and useful. Back to the report for subscribers on Tuesday morning. Have a great weekend, thanks for listening, and bye for now.